What do we got to do here? Hold on one second here. Yeah, like oh, nope, that's wrong. And I wrote it wrong. Nope, that's fine. Sorry. All right, what do I got to do here? I at least have to keep out the Russian bots. Customization. Subscribers at least. Keep out the Russian bots. Any duration. No monetization. Save. You got that right. Hey, how y'all doing? Give me a quick second. I gotta do a couple quick things. Good to see you here. I know it's late right now. It's 12 o'clock at night, but assuming that some of you have to do a brief tonight. Nothing's actually changed from the brief, but we'll chat about it. Quick second here. Sure, link. What's up, Bork? Borky Bork, baby. I love you. So I try to make Mondays, or I'm trying right now to make Mondays. Trying to make Mondays an office day because I have a lot of work to do that I have not gotten done. Hold on here. I'm being pulled in a lot of directions, and I owe you more. I have to talk to. I have some stuff to do to help with that too, but we'll get there. It's happening right now. Let me just put this on Twitter in case people want to watch. So I feel like I owe this to if you want to watch. Okay, right there. I apologize because this morning I took 2 trades this morning, made good money, and then I walked. It was like I'm out like 3 bar trades for like 2-3 minutes. And I had meetings today, and then later this afternoon, my daughter joined a robotics team, which is a whole nother story for another time, but I didn't get out of there until 9:30, 10. And then I drove my kids home to get ready for bed. And then I had to eat. So then I went out to get some food. They weren't serving food. They'd closed their kitchen down. So I wound up at another restaurant trying to get some food, and I just got home. It's midnight. I have to be on the show tomorrow morning at 9:30 and be ready for the show. And I don't know if I need to do an update for yesterday's brief, but I have to go through the motions of it every day, no matter what, and see if it needs to be updated or not. Now, there's a few things we need to look at. So give me a brief second. I want to make sure I'm ready for this. So number one, let's go to the trigger screen, and we're going to look at a few things here. Now, the first thing that we're going to look at here is this right here. So there was a lot of, well, number one, let's just look at today. By the way, if you're listening to this show right now, thank you. I appreciate it. Now, I want to start back here, and we're going to build this story for you. So, number one, we tried to get long here on Friday. Well, number one, we knew we didn't have to go any higher. There was no requirement to go higher on Friday. but we tried to get long, and I got stopped out in here on Friday. And I was like, oh, you guys must have made some money in there. What I really wanted to see was Friday, yeah. I really wanted to see like this move higher. And on Friday, I wanted to see that move higher. I wanted to see like, hey, we're done. We're going to move higher. And that didn't happen. It started to break down support here. Even though we didn't need to go any higher, you're always looking for are buyers stronger than sellers? And you need to see that. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are the buyers stronger than sellers? That would mean that we're going to drive higher. We literally have like a 3 days straight up kind of a trade. Well, that didn't happen. It started sending me down. I got my price broken. I didn't buy back in. And then as the weekend came in, I went back to look at over the weekend. Look at the mechanics of Opex, quarterly Opex, where we are, dates, expiration, all that kind of stuff. And so as it came into Sunday, I'm like, oh, fuck, they're going to sell us down in here. We're literally overnight going to sell down. And then I assumed that they would send us back up before the open, at least once. Now, they did do that. But in this day and age, we have high frequency trading, and you can see they did it in pre-market. They brought us right back up to that gap, and they instantly sold. There's a whole bunch of I don't do this trade, but there's a whole bunch of traders that trade these 8 a.m. spikes. These are dark pools that are coming in. They're telling you in here that they're going to sell right up here with volume. And back in the day, you'd be able to get some kind of trade higher, and then they would slam you down. You'd close that gap if you saw price action like this. But they did this shit like early this morning. So I'm like, maybe we'll... it's like I have mixed feelings on this during the day. Technically, they did it at 8 a.m., but I would have liked to have seen at least one more pull higher this morning. But we didn't get that, did we? They were like, fuck you, we did it here. We got volume coming in telling you we're selling. And it was off to the races. Personally, I think this is more high frequency trading. But we still knew that we were going down today, right? So it doesn't matter that we did this at 8 a.m. There's no excuse in any of this stuff. You still know that we're trading down today. And why is the question? Why is the question? So we know it's going to be so if this is the low over here, you know that it's going to be a bumpy road. And we're hyper focused on 1 minute time frames, 30-second time frames, 1 day time frames, all of this stuff. Now, I want you to know something off the bat. In my view, this was bottom. Now, in my view, you're likely going to look back in a week and you'll forget about all of this. It'll be in the back of your head. And I want to show you the reasoning why or the mechanics of how this works itself out, how we have short-term memory and all that kind of stuff. Now, I could be wrong in this. And we have some problems here. Elon Musk saying that we're going to hit a recession, or in worst case was Trump saying it. That was bad. You guys all know how I feel about sentiment. I believe in sentiment. Sentiment is something that is dangerous. You can panic people, markets. That's real. And when you have like Elon saying it, and then we have a correction, and then you have the reinforcement of our president of the United States of America telling you, I can't rule out a recession, that panics people. All right? So you're getting panic actions in here. Now, if we're myopic in our viewpoint where we're looking at hey, this is bottom, then why are we lower? I want to bring up something important to you here. This was in our Sunday brief. And I just want to, I want you to think about, hold on here. I want you to think specifically about this right here, right? That if this is bottom, and we're going to come back down and do all this nonsense this week, right, to pull up. Just think about this really quick, and I want to just show you something really, really quick here. I think I bring this over here maybe. And I'm going to mute this chat box. Sorry, I apologize for, maybe I can just bring it down. Hold on. Bring it down. You know what? I'm going to mute chat box. I'm going to mute my camera. I'm going to mute the webcam frame right there. And what I want to show you, the important thing that I want to show you here is just follow my cursor here. So I believe this was, just let me just bring this up here. Hold on. Fuck all that. We're going to go to a 1 hour view, and we're going to go right over here, I think. I want to show you a similar time frame. Now, there's some real danger here. We're going to talk about this later. About it. This is Q1, third month, coming into March. And what I really want to, what's important to show you here is this, is that this is Friday. Okay, this is just like our last Friday. And look what they did. They slammed it back up again, closed the gap, and it was downtown into the Monday. If you remember this year, this was 2022, and we had a Vixpiration and Opex. A Vixpiration and Opex was early in the month, and date wise, I think it was this week here. The Vixpiration was on the 15th, where I believe it's on the 17th or 18th this month. A little bit later in date wise for this month. But what's important for quarterly Opex is we did this today. This was your low. Your low was on Friday. We broke down into Sunday. They wicked us up in pre-market today. And what did they do? Slam us straight down. You might be trying to buy the overnight tonight. And what is it? It's just trash. And then you get turnaround Tuesday. This is the week before Opex. Slam you back up and down, up and down. And remember, this was Friday last week, right? They top tick you to show you that we're going higher, but saw you back down again. There's no buyers here for call buyers. If you're a call buyer here, I want to show you this. If you were a call buyer, I guaranteed if you look back in history, if you were a call buyer and you held and you saw this giant move and then coming back down here into the opening bell, there's no buyers here for you. So the dealers wouldn't even pay you for this move from here to here. They wouldn't even pay you that. It would just be an open with theta burn, and and here's the negotiation. Take the money that you have left or we fuck you. Boom, back down again. Like, this is shaking you out. This is all a process of fuck you, 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 fuck you. And what's the worst part? Put buyers don't. They made money today, but they don't make any money tomorrow. This is all garbage trading. All ranged garbage. So when I spoke to 45 Forever today, I think it was like right in here. I was like, you know what? We're sideways this week. And I don't think that the context of me saying that many people understood. This is range bound. It's range bound trading this whole week. week before Opex. Week before Opex. And what's crazy about this is that you get actual Vixpiration the day before Vixpiration, which is next week on Wednesday, and you get seasonal flows into the market on the 14th. Look at this. You buy this here. They rope-a-dope you down. You catch the theta burn. So had you even bought the close on the 14th, they still fuck you again. They literally fuck you this whole entire week. Puts, calls, doesn't matter. You can trade this intraday. You can trade this with futures. But if you're like, oh, bro, I'm going to buy me a bottom. I'm going to buy me a bottom. That's the bottom over here. And you've got just dealers. Basically, dealers are going to fuck you, reprice you this whole entire week. And now we get the 14th of this March, right? And we've got Opex, slightly different days, don't we? And I want to show you where it moves to. Can you imagine? Just think about this. Can you imagine being a call buyer here for farther out in time, and you wake up today down here? I'm sure that if you're a call buyer, that your hair is on fire. You've got people telling you that the market's going to crash and we're going to trade 530 and 500, and you're out. And then you come back here, and what happens? Into the end of expiration, and more importantly, the end of month. Can you imagine being a call buyer right here? And that's where you wind up. This is how you get traders that say, I give up. This is how you feel. I give up. We went down here. I bought puts. They rang me up. Oh my God, it's back down. It's going to crash. Nope. Fuck you again. Right? This whole week is fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Oh, and I sold my calls over here and got short with the rest of them. Yeehaw, daddy. So, this week should be a bunch of fuckery, in my viewpoint. Do I think it trades exact? No. It is trading like a rhyme, though, isn't it? You can see it right here, right? The drop on Sunday. They did this in pre-market. I think I call this high-frequency traders, or anticipating that down move and getting short early, knowing that we're going to trade something like this. This is fairly close to what we're trading right now. Now, there is a little bit of difference this year than this year here, or this actual year. We've got, today is the 11th. Right? So we've got today, right? This is the 10th. This is the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. So flows are about to come into the market on this day, this in real time this week. And yet we don't get Vixpiration until I think Wednesday or something. So I don't know if we turn up. I don't know if we turn up. They don't match this time. We don't have Vixpiration and flows same time this year. We have Vixpiration farther out in time, and we have flows early. So we could potentially move up higher now, or these flows get hammered down into next week on Wednesday when we get actual Vixpiration. Maybe Vixpiration is the turn higher. We're either going to turn higher early or late, depending upon the flows that are coming in. Now, I want to show you that really quick too, and that's where this is where the flows come in. This is the 13th. This is the 14th, and you've got selling pressure in here. So today is the 11th. Look at this selling pressure. You have selling pressure tomorrow too. But when you scale out a little bit, like if you scale out just a tiny bit, you get off a fucking, like literally have to get off of a, you're like, we're down here for this time period. We know they're going to attempt to fuck you down here. Like horrible. Everything is horrible. Oh God, get short. Oh my God. And then you got the 14th right here, and you got expiration right here, and before you know it, it's whoop, up and away. And now the other worst part about this is as they cycle in and out of bottoms, some issues I think I brought that back. Some issues need more down. Tesla. Cat is doing fine. Cat is showing you that the way is higher. CAT, Caterpillar. If you look at certain indexes, they have more down to go, and some indexes are ready to go higher. Some individual stocks are done. Some stocks are not done. So you've got an literal automated computer program saying you're a human. You've got a fund or an institution, and they literally have computers that are running through 4,000 different stocks, a bunch of different ETNs and ETFs, and saying, we need to max this one out, max that one out as we turn higher. And so in this volatility, you're getting rung around when in fact you should just be looking to what? Buy lows as we turn higher. You're just looking for these lows to get long. Now, we're not going to talk tonight about are we going to crash? Are we going to get an early recession? Does sentiment switch at all? You always get the return to the scene of the crime, whether you want it or not. Now, there is a problem that happened today. That spike down, that slam down here, this one right here, this one below, is a problem. That's a problem. I figured, wick 562. But staying down here is hella dangerous. This drags the daily trigger lower. We talked about that in the brief last night, too. Do we get a cross of the daily trigger, of the weekly trigger? That does, until it unfucks itself, leads us to an environment of risk off. We're not there yet, but that shit made that daily trigger violently come down today. The weekly trigger sits at 582, and the daily trigger now sits at 590. This does bring up not just a question, but I still think that we squeeze higher. Right up there into the at least somewhere in here, like at least the 18th, 19th. It's going to be violent, straight up. But even if we do, we need to get a back check and a new high, and we need to continue higher at that point. If we don't, we are going to have likely not a correction, but a crash of some kind. Now, we're not there right now, and the cross hasn't happened. And not only that, you are afforded an orderly exit before that normally happens, or it's violent and we come straight back up in quick time. If you know anything about the trading history of the late 1990s, you know anything that we've talked about in the brief since last year, which was you get long, you hedge highs, you stay long, and you have dry powder to buy major crashes, major corrections. GS has said the same thing. They're mimicking the same concept. So if that does happen, you will either be afforded an exit or it'll crash and come straight back. Like, I'm talking quick. There is no example in history where we've done that roll and you've never been allowed out. Not one, not a single one, not even COVID. So you have to remain patient. You still buy these dips. And then when we get back there, we can discuss it. We can discuss your positioning, my positioning, and say, okay, what are we going to do? Right? Are we gonna hedge for more down? Are we going to sell calls? Are we going to pick up a hedge so that we're not upside down? Are we going to stay long because we're going higher? All that stuff is yet to be determined at this point. No one can call. I can't call it. Nothing here is calling that that's going to happen. This is, as far as I know, this is normal for what I'm seeing at this point. I do not like this last wick. I felt as though this wick was plenty if we wicked that, but I guess you could count that as a wick. Let's look at this on a daily basis and see if it wicked or not. Not quite. Like, I would have liked to have seen a wick here, not a red bar. I don't like seeing the red bar here. And this could be a function of the panic that's setting in with sentiment. Could be just sentiment driven, which is not good. But even if we do, I'm long. But just so you know, I bought 82 and 62 on SPY. I own it at 82 and 62 right here. I need to make my own decisions. Am I going to get out? Am I going to just sell a bunch of calls to pay for getting down here? Do I have enough cash to buy a crash? Matter of fact, I just got out of, I was in a CAT trade and an LMT trade, and I just got rid of an LMT trade this morning, a synthetic long that I took. I have cash available finally. I have a hedge that I closed that had cash available to me this morning. So for me, I'm going through these whole moments where I'm like, oh God, I don't have enough money. Not have the money, I just have the money available to me at this moment. To make to work through these machinations in the stock market. But for me, at least, we're done. We're done for the moment. I don't see us doing this, wake up and start doing this bullshit. And even if we did this bullshit, it would be quick and fast and back up again. This is not bear market mechanics. This is not bear market motions. And all of these things always, every fucking time, give you a way out or to take money and run or whatever that might be. Or even just to say, hey, I'll stay long SPY and I'll just start selling calls and I'll get bared up and we'll start taking this bad boy down and I'll make a bunch of money. Now, for right now, I got to stop talking because I got to do the show in the morning. But for right now, in my view, this is bottom. There's nothing down here. There ain't a goddamn thing. The closest thing we've got down here is 504. I would need a reason for some kind of crash. I got nothing for you. There's a target here at 532 and 500. I can't say that I'm a believer in this. It's very rare to crash like this, and even in a crash like this, to not have these moments of major squeezes. Ever. Even COVID. They're violent. You just come in the market next morning, you're up like 4%, 5%. Next day, 2-3%. Next day, a point or two. It's violent. So for me, I'm fine with this. I don't see any. I don't see anything. The one thing that's bothering me is that no wick, and we might get that cross up here. It's starting to prove itself that a cross is coming. It hasn't happened yet, but this is getting violent. I am going to expect some kind of a massive squeeze to the upside regardless. If we don't get that massive squeeze, if we do not get that massive squeeze in here, we might find ourselves in some kind of a crash. But it would behoove you all, if you are long the stock market, not 0 dates, 2 dates, weeklies, or whatever. If you're long synthetic longs a year out or two. Like I've got TLT longs on for next year. I tried to get out last week. They couldn't get out. I missed it. I was fucking blabbing on a show. So I'm still long that. I would not sell any of that. I would stay long for an immediate reaction to the upside. If you don't have any idea about the history of this stuff, we went through a period of this in the late 1990s. If you have access to GS's outlook for this year, I'm going to give it to you short and sweet. You stay long, you hedge highs, you wait to buy major downturns where we stay in bull trend. And I told you, I don't know how many fucking times I've told you that this is going, if this plays out, it is going to fuck bears and bulls. Bulls will not buy the bottom. Bears are going to tell you we're in a bear market. Bears are going to stay short. Bulls are not going to buy, and you will all be left behind. The only other outcome is that we are going into a bear market. I have to say something here. None of the data supports that. None of the earnings, none of the profits, none of the actual data supports us heading into a bear market, nor a recession right now. The data that you're being fucking fed right now is a goddamn lie. I'm telling you this. It is a lie. It's pure sentiment driven at this point. You're not going to go through a recession where we don't have that data. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So this is pure, in my view, this is pure emotion. In my view, that's what it is. And if you want to look back and these things, I'm going to tell you the last part of this. In June, August, we went vertical. And we said, all that shit's coming back. All this shit's coming back. You're not getting away with this without actual economic conditions being this. This is not our economic conditions. I don't give a fuck what you say. None of you. I spend too much time knowing this shit in and out. So that's a fucking fact. So if we're going to do the late 80s thing or late 1990s thing, bring that shit on. Bring it on, because I would love to buy any dip that you got. I want to say this one last part to you guys. Last week, I listened to people talking about a bear market, and they are wrong. A bear market, I want to show this blue line right here, and the difference between crashing and bear markets. I've shown this to you in the past. Crashes and bear markets are vastly different. This works better, of course, on a with individual tickers. But as long as we're sitting here riding that line right there, that blue line, we're in a bull market. The moment that we start getting crosses through that blue line, we get ugly. Like, it gets violent. But as far as trend goes, or when trend slows down or turns sideways or any of those things, even when you see this blue line going sideways, you know, you're risk off down here, then risk on again, risk off down here, then risk on again. Trend is still to the upside on that blue line. Very important for you as a trader to understand that. So we could rip face down here and still be on trend to the upside. And it could be quick, like 1 month. I want to show you another time period, which we discussed last year, which was if we are in the 1990s, let me show you how violent that was. Just so you can see how violent this time period was. This was the end of the bull run before the great crash here in 2000. And we are trading right now, like right here, right here, right here. And I want to show you what it is. It's up. I even want to show you a trade down here. And it was still violently up. And it was fast in terms of time. Bear markets last for years. 1.5 to 3 years normally. This was a crash that took place from July of 98 bottomed in September of 98. That's 2 or 3 months later. And then bought and then bought. This was the end of 1998. Let me ask you guys a serious question here. If you had a peak, a drawdown of 21%, and then an uptrend of 39%. And I told you here, hey, you know what? You know what? Hold on and add, and we're going to put 40% on in 2 months. You would say, you're out of your fucking mind. You would also say, I'm getting short. We're going to crash the fuck out of this, or I'm too scared to buy, or any of that stuff. So I just want to warn you of the, not just violence, but if we get violence, you hold. Your synthetic longs get paid. Your underlying gets paid. You do not ever, ever, ever listen to these people telling you sell, that's the top, 3 years of doom, all that other fucking noise. You just don't do it. It's not what it is. And I want to show you this last part right here. This is discount. This is where discount is, right where we are right now, discount. We're going to go up here and come down here. That's fine. But for right now, this is discount. You should expect buyers coming in this week to buy this market and super ramp it up into end of month. I showed you that data. I showed you in the brief. I showed you the history of how this shit trades. And I got to say something important to you. If you come back on Friday or Monday or Wednesday of next week, and this market is just ripping fucking faces off, you're going to be fucking pissed. You are going to be angry. And you're going to get whipsawed. And if this when we squeeze too, right? We already know to take our money and run. And we already know to wait for conditions to improve and to hedge at those moments in case we do roll to the downside. It is very important for you guys to be, or I should say, as a trader, traders and investors get washed out every cycle. And it's important for you to live through cycles, to be able to get through them as they get more difficult. You also have to have wealth preservation when we go into a real bear cycle. And that's a whole other thing that has nothing to do with the market. Where do we move our cash to? Which is usually not markets. It's usually in bonds. It's usually in real estate. All kinds of different shit that we haven't even talked about right now in the market. You guys saw me sell real estate last summer, right? And I'm like, that's the top of real estate. And then we're going to have a moment where we're going to buy real estate, which is not now, but we're going to. You and I are going to buy real estate. Most of us are going to take some cash and go out there and start buying some commercial. Well, I'm going to do commercial this time, but you're going to buy some real estate. Real estate market's going to be on fire. People are going to be running down the street with their hair on fire, and you're not going to be able to put your money to work in the stock market. And it's going to have one of the safest, highest returns you can get. So we will go through that cycle together as a group. But to think this market is over is not true. And I've shown you the statistics on major corrections. They come every year and a half on average. We have not had one. We have not had one in a year. In the last 2 years, we haven't had a single one. Crashes are, I think, 3 to 5 years. We haven't been to 3 to 5 years yet. So do I think we get a crash right now? No. I think this is normal. Normal. So I want you to remember, as we're down here, that no one wants you long here. Nobody. And if you're loading up on calls down here, you're going to get counter traded. I'm telling you, they're going to counter trade you. They're going to torch everything that you're in. They have to. This market is not about giving you free rides. I know, contrary to popular opinion, especially on bottoms like this, they don't want you to have the best positioning ever. Job for you is not to get rich, take all of your money. So I'll leave you with that tonight. I have to go to bed because I'm supposed to write a brief tonight, but nothing's really changed here in this for this brief for you. If you want a quick brief from me for what to expect tomorrow, it would be more fuckery. You should likely see some fucking fuckery. If you want to see where I think we trade tomorrow, look at that. Beautiful. I thought we'd get this one up here. We kind of did in the pre-market. We slammed down a little bit lower than I expected. This looks worse than it actually is. I don't know why TradingView does this. Let me show you what it actually looks like on a second here. TradingView makes everything look so fucked up. Like, depending on depending on what you're looking at. You know, this was our target today. Our target was right there. That was our target today. And what did they do? They slammed down into it. Hold on a second there. They slammed down into it, and they brought you the pain, didn't they? Back up here, low in the middle of the night, but we're still on that target. And I want you to realize that we're going to be on this target the rest of the week. This is it. I want you to remember this 562 is the magnet for the rest of this week. Now, where are expectations for tomorrow? Right there. Up. Right there, right back into it, right over there. These are expectations tomorrow. We're going up. I'll be here with you tomorrow. There could be we'll make this a little bit more scientific. Hold on here. If you want exactitudes, I'll put this in the brief. I got to go. It takes me like an hour and a half to do, but God, I wish I could have bought that fucker. I wish I could have bought that fucker right there. We are in accumulation, whether you know it or not. Where? One day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Price target 569.28. And you're gonna see this happen the rest of this week. You're gonna see this kind of nonsense literally the rest of this week until those flows come in. And there's the 14th right there. And that's they're gonna rope-a-dope you the entire week. I don't know if we extend this rope-a-doping into Vixpiration. I'm unsure on that, but I would think that they would want to. There is a possibility you could get the rope-a-dope into Friday the 14th. that kind of nonsense, and we start actually making our way higher to that 98. And or what is it? Yeah, where's that? Right there. You can see the rope-a-dope squeeze higher, and then a bloodbath down into the VIX-piration. That would ramp that VIX one more time. As soon as that VIX is gone, we reset the VIX. Here, it would reset the VIX, I think right here. Reset the VIX, come back the day after VIX, down and off and running, and you're blasting off to that 604. Like that 598, 604. Could be a little bit lower, 590, but just still whipsawing to the upside here to trade that 598, 604. But be careful down here. Like, be careful. Be careful. In my view, this is all normal and part of the process of turning higher, and especially in a time where things are uncertain. Now, can we crash? We can. I think there's a truthfully, if we crash, it's sentiment driven, but it'll whipsaw back up. It's not based on, in my view. I know some of you guys disagree with this stuff, but I go down. I read all the real shit, and there's no fundamental reason at this point. There's no fundamental economic reason other than the fire hose of bullshit why we should crash today, tomorrow, next week, 3 weeks from now, other than sentiment driven. That's it. All sentiment driven. And we've got earnings season coming up in April. They're going to blow it out of the fucking water, in my view. More than my view. I can tell you today, they're going, like, every company in this country is going to fucking destroy their earnings. We had 0 tariffs. 0 tariffs. These fucking companies have been greedflationing your ass now for 4 months. Hand over fist money they've been making. Hand over fist money. So you're not walking into any fucking April ERs and they're going to be like, oh God, we did this and we lost all that. Everything is horrible. They're going to beat more than you'll ever imagine. There were 0 tariffs. And this data that's coming out on GDP, that was them front running, buying shit cheap. I kid you not. Like all the data is skewed right now. Now, and we still don't have truth by Trump. Now, can Trump actually hit the economy? Yes, but it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next week. If that comes, it'll be way down the road, 6-9 months from now. So if we do crash, in my view, it would be a sentiment-driven crash only. Panic. And it was not good what Trump said this weekend. If you like or dislike Trump, it doesn't really matter. He is the president of the United States of America. And if the fucking president of the United States of America is telling you they're going to try to make a recession, we're going to try to crash our economy, this is the reaction that you get. You can't have the fucking president tell you, and the head of Doge tell you, I'm trying to crash the economy. It's not you and I. It's like, like Bob on Main Street says, I want some exposure to that Tesla company. Why? Because I go to my barber, I go to my golf course, I go to dinner, and all my fucking friends are making money off Tesla. Or you insert any ticker. But when he's going to the barbershop and he's going to the fucking dinner and fucking golf, and he's like, hey, bro, you're Trump and fucking Musk are trying to crash the economy, they will not put their money in the market. They will remove their fucking money and wait until things clear up. They're just like they're on their phone going, buy that Tesla. They will be like, get my fucking money out now. I don't give a fuck how high it goes. Wealth preservation is real. I gotta. You don't have money. If you are a person that does not have money, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you have money, if you've broken your dick for fucking 30, 40 years, and you've saved and saved and saved and bought a house and raised a family and whatever it is you've done to have money, you don't give a fuck. You just don't care. If you start seeing like, oh, they're farting over there and now they're telling me to my face, we're trying to do this, you exit. So that's true. That's a real thing. So sentiment-driven stuff can happen. So just be careful this week. If not this week, but if we get this, or when we get this squeeze, we will deal with how to hedge that or exit the market. I'm fully expecting myself here to have made. Well, I made money in the hedge, but I'm also expecting myself to make bank on a squeeze, to be able to exit the market in an orderly fashion. If you were an investor or trader in 2022 and we rolled over, they gave you an exit in March, didn't they? And I have friends that had sold the bottom on panic and on bullshit and watched that market come straight back up. And the money that they lost not holding is devastating. It is soul crushing. Soul crushing. Soul. It breaks you as a person. So at any rate, from my expectations for the next 2 days, tomorrow, whatever, you may get let's see, sir. You may get one more check back down here just to fuck you one more time. You're going to get fuckery this whole week. It's all going to be fuck you. If you have the brief from last night, you have that chart that shows the fuckery this week. And I would be looking for the 14th and the day after expiration as instigation points to trade higher, not lower. I ain't looking for that lower trade here. I'm just looking to turn up. That's it. Patience, turn up. That's it. Be patient, turn up. Look for lows to long. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Max fuckery. 1,000%. 100% with you. Goliath, we're going to make money also, Doom. I feel bad. I do. I feel bad. I'm like, this is all. I want to leave you with one last thing. I'm going to read something to you here. I want to read one last thing to you. This is from GS. Listen closely. Gather around. GS. Now, these are the guys, right, who I was mocking, saying, can we roll the fucking market, please? Right? Please, let's do it. They're saying, you ready? These are the same guys that I was mocking. Let's go. Roll it over. Rubner, right? This is Rubner's gang. You ready? This was at 9 p.m. GS. Oversold technical conditions are primed for a rebound, but rallies will be used as selling opportunities given strong headwinds facing the market. Washington-linked disruptions, tariffs and debt ceiling, slowing growth, and still relatively expensive valuations. GS goes on to say, despite high intraday realized volatility, our desk doesn't see a great opportunity in being outright long volatility anymore. The desk now sees value in upside trades that net sell volatility to play for a degross relief rally in heavily shorted pockets of the market. Remember, pockets of the market. I.e. IWM, the most short basket. Momentum shorts via call spread callers call ratios. GS, our floor was on a 7 on a 1 to 10 scale in terms of overall activity levels. Our floor finished minus 267 BPS versus 11 BPS 30-day average. Long only finished at 1.5 net sellers. Activity levels from this cohort have picked up today with sizable tactical trims in tech and fins. HFs finished balanced with supply in healthcare and discretionary versus scattered covers in macro products. The small bounce into the close was constructive, but don't believe we are out of the woods just yet. This mirrors what I'm telling you. You're not out of the woods. You are looking for, we're not out of the woods. You are looking for volatility in a move higher. And we will talk later about, are we going to sell 98,604 and we're going to crash it? Has nothing to do with today. Zero. Don't ever take any of these fucking bears telling you that was the top. We're going to crash. We're going to go to a bear market. You need to confirm all of these things. Do not do that. No fucking trader on Wall Street is even thinking that. Not at this point. At all. Hopefully you're getting some sexy longs and you're looking to buy to go long. I'll see all of you tomorrow. There's your expectations. Crank it, baby, then back down. Crank it, then back down. I'll see all of you tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. And by the way, thanks for showing the fuck up tonight. Fucking God, I was up at 4 a.m. Fucking midnight. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.